Stage 2 is a bit of a no pun intended Titan, honestly. So this is something that's been sitting on the burner for us for
a while.
I don't know, for a long time now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk about the phenomenon anime Attack on Titan. So we're going to be coming into season 4, closing out the show. The show's only going to run 4 seasons. The manga is currently being released bi-weekly or weekly, something like that, which you can be reading now. Some people are waiting for the anime. But this is, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinions, one of the best animes ever. Just ever.
Yeah.
It is done. It's a complete masterpiece. And while I would like to at some point tackle some things going into the ending, the season 4, I would like to, with you boys, just talk about Attack on Titan for a little bit. Sure. So for the viewer, if you're watching post season 4, we don't know about it yet, but if you're watching pre season 4, please join us in kind of reliving seasons 1 through 3, manga's season arcs 1 through 3. I want to talk about it because it's got a very special place in my heart. I'm just going to say it right now. Probably top 3 animes of all time for me, and that's a bold statement, but it's incredible. I mean, before we get into the story or season 4 or things like that, how do you guys feel about Attack on Titan?
For me, it was top 5, bro. Like,
definitely.
It's up there. And honestly, man, I'm one of those guys that when I watch anime, if it doesn't really hook me by the first episode, I'll still watch it, but if I end up finishing the series, I'm like, yeah, I watched it, but it wasn't really my thing. But this one from the jump, man, halfway through the first episode, I'm like, dang, man, this is serious, bro. And I was hooked right then and there, and it did not disappoint until the last episode of season 3, and then I just can't wait for the 4th one to come out. But it is definitely up there on my top 5 list for sure, dude.
Yeah, mine too, man. This one has been one of those animes that I really, really, really enjoy. It's dark, it's gritty, it's sad. I believe the main thing that I do like about this anime is that you never know what's going on completely. Like you kind of try to make yourself an idea of what's happening in this world, but you're being guided by this protagonist and to explore this gritty, awful world that is just we're just trying to survive, and those walls surrounding this city is what keeps us apart from them. And I don't know how to explain it, man. It's an experience that you're trying to root for survival, you're trying to root for humanity, but at the same time, you don't see the end of the tunnel, you don't see the light. It's just everything is so bleak. You get people scouting outside of that city just to see what the hell is going on because nobody knows. Well, I mean, further into the story, there's some glimpse of double agents and shit like that. But at the beginning when you start this journey, it's blindfolded. It's basically you trying to discover what is this world about, and it's really interesting. So I'll say, yeah, definitely, I'm like, man, it's on my top 5.
And that's one of the things about Attack on Titan in regards to the first episode, being introduced to the world is that, and also what you said as well, Will, with sort of the defeat that you're sort of rooting against the entire time is from episode 1. I mean, they basically tell us immediately there are no rules because Eren Yeager, who is our protagonist, his mother dies within, I don't know, 15 minutes of the first episode, something like that. And then within episode 2, and then I'll start getting into more spoilers in a minute or so, but beyond that, they really start killing people off pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
To the point where even for the series as a whole, you don't really know who's going to live or going to die.
This is the Game of Thrones of animes.
That's absolutely a Game of Thrones. I couldn't agree more.
You don't 100%. Know who the hell is going to die. You should not fall in love with the character because they can take it away. That's how good this is.
The writers don't care. The writers don't care who you like. They don't care who you dislike. It is a complete, it's just anyone can die at any time. But really quick before spoilers, I would like to talk about what Attack on Titan is actually about for the listener that for some reason has not watched Attack on Titan, and please go watch Attack on Titan. Is basically, for an unknown reason, at least to you before spoilers, is that there are these giant I want to call them creatures, but really they're just humans, sort of.
Like humanoids.
Humanoids, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the correct word. That's the right word.
Yeah.
There's giant humanoids that sort of mindlessly walk around, but they're giants. I mean, they're King Kongs. They're the Godzillas of this world, where they just crush and kill everything. And they seem to be hungry for humans, or at least they need to eat, so they eat humans. And we're introduced to the show with Aaron Yeager and his two friends, Armin and, I'm sorry, what is the female's name? I'm forgetting for a second. Mikasa, thank you. Their children in like the very first episode, and we see that this has been an ongoing problem in this world for as long as they can remember. They're born into it. And our protagonist, Aaron Yeager,
it's a post-apocalyptic story from the get-go.
Yes, very post-apocalyptic. So yeah, I mean, don't watch it for a feel-good anime, but it is a masterpiece.
No.
But I mean, I think probably, I mean, if you've made it this far into the video, you probably are expecting spoilers now, right? Like, we can go into spoilers, do you think?
3, 2, 1, spoilers. You guys been warned.
Okay, so, oh my God, like, dude, Attack on Titan is, what a ride. I mean, there's so many things. The first thing that speaks out to me, and it's what I want to talk about, is Aaron's Titan voice is so cool. There is something about anime, and we talked about in the last episode with dubs versus subs, in terms of like the emotion displayed.
Yeah.
And when Aaron is in Titan mode and gets pissed off, there's no cooler. I can't think of a cooler sound, a cooler mood, a cooler aesthetic. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Goku going Super Saiyan. I love Vegeta going Super Saiyan. I love Deku going 1,000,000% or whatever the hell. There is something about Aaron Yeager going Titan and getting pissed off that gives me goosebumps every time. The sound is incredible. But yeah, what do you guys like? What attracts you to Attack on Titan?
I'm with you, man. The animation is pretty sick when he transformed. I wasn't expecting him to be one of them. So that revelation in the series, it's amazing. It puts you from. I mean, you're already up there when it comes to hype. That thing explodes the roof. It's really crazy when that happened. I mean, it's that opens that's the thing, that you don't know what's going on. You kind of start to figure it out. Okay, big people bad, small people trying to fight big people good, and that's what we're gonna do. Then one of the good people trying to fight the big people transform into a big people. So what? That's the point that 1,000 question hits you, and then you're like back on step one. And this series does this a lot. You are like up ahead on the knowledge part of, okay, I think I'm figuring out this world, and then something happens that say, oh, I don't know nothing, man. This is just crazy, and you go all the way back, and more question hits you. But it's great, man. It's a great ride, and I like the fact that it introduced that little niche right there, that these guys are actually, I mean, human, and that's basically where the plot lies. So it's a great watch.
Yeah, that cycle was crazy, man. Like, in terms of like how they came to be and all that stuff too, that was like definitely like my number one question, especially after when Aaron like shockingly transformed into a Titan in front of everyone, and then just like rambling questions.
Going into season 4, we have an idea, because Aaron's dad had that serum that turned people into Titans, but there somehow is still a lot of unanswered questions.
Especially,
which I think is
towards
cool.
The end of season 3,
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that I sort of enjoy the fact that there's so much mystery behind it. I mean, like we're told about the key that Aaron has to this basement or whatever. I mean, that takes 3 seasons to come to fruition, and even then, it's still a little bit confusing. I mean, and I want to talk about some things that you cannot talk about Attack on Titan without bringing up some of these things, in my opinion. For example, when, and honestly, it's such a shame to skip so many amazing things, because every episode is great. There's just too much to talk about, and we simply could not fit it into 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to have to fast forward a bit, but whenever, just for me, when the captain and Well, god damn, there's just so much. So when Armin basically sacrifices his life,
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things is that Aaron, one of Aaron's best friends, Armin. I mean, he's kind of a wimp. He's presented to us as an audience as sort of the wimpy character. He's like maybe kind of brainy, whatever.
That's my dude, though.
Oh, he's the man.
That's my dude.
So he sort of gives his life to protect a very important attack that they're doing to defend against these two double agent Titans.
Yeah.
And then the serum, dude. The serum where what is his name? Commander
Erwin.
Commander Erwin and Armin are both burned to death. They're both going to die. And Captain Levi and Eren Yeager both are like around the serum that can bring them back to life by turning them into a Titan. And you have to watch and like be on the edge of your seat with, are they going to help Captain Erwin, or are they going to revive Armin?
Hard decision, man. Hard decision to make.
I couldn't take that shit, man. Especially when you guys told me to catch up, bro, like on the show, and I started watching it. When it came to that point, I had to pause and literally text you guys, like, bro, I can't take this anymore, man. Like, and Chris like, no, dude, you gotta watch, bro. Like, you have to watch.
And the thing is, even with the decision made, we still are doubtful if we made the right decision or not. And the audience is too. I was too. It's like, was this the right call? Like, was this the right call?
We're watching it through Eren and Mikasa's emotions, but like, I mean, as much as we love Armin, it's like, was that the right call? Like,
it's like I mean, it comes to a point where in war you have to be very strategic. So this decision was made in a point where it was like a fine line between being strategic and calculated or passionate. And I believe that the inclination to reviving or save Arwen was more passionate than what is the other one? Erwin?
It's Armin and Erwin.
So instead of Armin was more passionate, Erwin was more like more logic because he was the commander. So it was gonna be, hey, we save his life so we can proceed and keep strategizing and make a great attack. But for some reason, Armin has also kind of qualities on how to strategize and do great things. So it was Erwin's most call to say, hey, listen, save him because I believe the future is with these guys. But still up to this point, we don't know if Erwin made the right choice. And the only reason why Levi did it was because Erwin asked. If not, Levi was going to actually revive Erwin, and that's it.
Well, you're talking about Eren, and I think the thing is, and I think that what makes the character so fallible and so cool is that fact that we see so many times during the show where Eren makes mistakes. Like though he's meant to be the protagonist. I mean, he is the protagonist. He's meant to be the hero. The fact that he has this sort of X factor where he can become a Titan and he's on the side of
that's the
everyone.
Thing that he's viewed only as a weapon. I don't think his view as an integral part of, I mean, he is because of what he can do, but when it comes to logic, when it comes to emotions, he's just not ready yet. Like he is all that Mikasa is in a way. Like Mikasa, you can see her super powerful, super good fighter. She knows how to make important and calculated decision. When you see Eren Yeager just doing whatever, sometimes whatever he feels like.
I mean, he gives up whenever they tie him up because they need to eat him to pass on the like Titan power. He gives up. Like he blatantly gives up and says, "All right, fuck it."
I'll be honest. Sometimes he's a little bit frustrated to me watching him. Like I mean, I know we're following this story through his eyes, and I understand all his emotions, all his feelings. Like it's natural. I might feel that way if I wasn't in that world. I get it, but I just don't admire him because of that. I kind of admire more maybe somebody like Mikasa, which is a little more collected. But again,
that's Levi, bro. That dude is the GOAT.
Yeah, Levi is Mikasa. I don't know. They're pretty much related, right?
Took out like what 10 Titans at once at some point.
Man.
Yeah, but at some point they said that they were related, right? Like there was an episode where they've been hunted, and we got this commander that is hunting Levi, and he reveals that Mikasa is part of a bloodline that Levi is in, which is also make them like the super soldiers in a way. Like they actually are very what do you call it? Very
they're superpowered. They fight. They're the only ones that can take out so many Titans at once.
they're very skillful with what they have. So it's very interesting that got revealed. I know that's. I mean, I imagine that at some point, maybe in season 4, that's going to be more important. They didn't actually dive too much deep into, but they just revealed that little nugget. But again, it's her personality and Levi's personality what I believe is going to help them survive, not Aaron's Jaeger personality. Like Aaron's has to be guided, in my opinion, and that's what gets me from that series. Sometimes I just can't stand Aaron. I don't know. It's something like I like some other person just take control sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, same. I was gonna point out the fact too, like real quick. This like super random tidbit, because I know Chris, you mentioned like the key that they had, and they had to do it throughout. Like they were pretty much dealing with that sucker
For the
with
basement,
like,
right?
Yeah. Remember when they finally reached that point and they tried to put that fucking key in there and like it would not budge for whatever reason? And I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, am I about to go to another season to see where this key's gonna take us? And then nope, Levi just freaking smashed that sucker open, and
that's it.
I was like, dude, I was about to throw a fit on that, man. Like, nah, man, we made it all the way this far. You mean to tell me that key is not working that goddamn keyhole, man? Like,
another reason why Levi is the man, because of that act.
I really think that's one of the reasons the show is so good. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that watch Attack on Titan and don't put it in their top 5. But I mean, again, if you're listening to us and you haven't watched it, I mean, there's a million things that you're missing. We could never possibly convey it. And I want to get into theory crafting about season 4, about the ending, because I mean, that's something that we need to talk about. But if you have not watched Attack on Titan, we are barely scratching the surface. Do yourself a favor and please, this is a absolute math. It's a gem of an anime. It's perfect. You're gonna have a fun time. But we need to talk about the ending of season 3, which is okay. So they have defeated quote unquote, one of them got away. But between the 2 double agent Titans, they've defeated one got away. We're building up the entire show to get beyond the wall, to see what's beyond the wall or whatever. And we get there and they're on a beach, which is built up from Armin and Aaron, who wanted to see the pretty waters. And I don't remember the exact quote, but they get there and then they see in the distance another city. And that is basically where the show ends. So I'm curious, I have read, unfortunately, only 1 chapter. Well, I've read 2, but that's a whole nother story. So I've read 1 chapter of the manga, and I know where it's going, but I don't know enough to not be able to theory craft with you guys. So the show's going to end. This is the ending of Attack on Titan. I'm most curious to know what you guys think is going to happen. I mean, there's so many questions left unanswered. Who's the monkey guy? Like the Titan? Like, there's so many. Aaron's dad, like, what's good with that? Where are you guys at? Where do you think we're headed? Let's timestamp this. Like, where are you guys thinking?
Bro, remember, dude, they kind of gave a backstory on Aaron's dad. Like, he was originally from that city, dude. You don't remember when they found the photography?
I remember. I just have so many questions. Like, the fact that Aaron's dad looks so much like the Monkey Titan drips me out. And I thought
that was him too.
I can't shake it off. Like, I can't, like, and if that's the case for whatever reason, it's like, why the hell would it, like, but I mean, the show does such a good job of answering its own questions, but I don't know. That looks a lot like Aaron's dad. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe his brother, dude. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that might be his uncle or something like that.
Something like that, like in the family. Yeah.
If I'm gonna theorize a little bit, I'll say that city in the distance, I believe it's where these Titans are coming from. I believe there's a civilization somewhere with people have learned and use and know how to control this power. And pretty much they see the other side or whatever that those guys are clustered on that city, probably as experiment, as subjects, as people that they just can't see how they react, how they use this with how to improve this type of mutations. And that's why they introducing all these double agents so they can keep those studies and to report. That's how I'm seeing it, because to be honest with you, there's no way that they're just doing this to mess or destabilize like this society. I believe it's mostly I see like a game, but I believe that if they really wanted to, I believe they will obliterate the whole city already. Like they've
Yeah.
been living within them for so much time already. They should know. They must know that their weaknesses. So I believe they're just playing with them. They're just basically just like just doing whatever. For what reason? It's hard for me to say. And this is me like again, theory crafting. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if what I'm saying is correct. I'm just like. This is what I think.
So who's really pulling the strings behind all this? Then at that point, I mean, the Beast Titan. I think was he the one that survived it, or was it someone else? I don't remember.
The Beast Titan definitely survived.
So I mean, I know he was like high up there in terms of like planning it, but I mean,
or wait,
knows,
no,
man?
Aaron. It doesn't matter. No, going forward, what are you thinking, Manny?
No, like I think someone might have a bigger agenda, and it might lead to like something even like we'll probably get the whole like. I feel like everyone there's a pawn, and this is just like a probably like just like a big scheme in terms of like what they're developing. Like this is the reason why they're turning on these humans into Titans or whatever. And I feel like unfortunately we might not see a next animation because it's gonna be the final season, so we might have to just continue on in the manga. But I feel like maybe someone might be pulling the strings, and I will probably think it might be related to Aaron or like Aaron's dad. Like it might be something within that line of family at that point, because since everything is so involved with Aaron and there's a lot of hints that his dad was giving him like clues and stuff like that, I feel like whatever his dad did or whatever he was on, man, like it's probably gonna lead towards that. But who knows?
Do you know what I enjoy so much to respond to that? I love, and even to respond to Will about Aaron, is he is not the perfect main character. I mean, he clearly has so many flaws. And like, but there's like, he sort of accidentally falls into being a Titan and so many things like that. But there's sort of this, it's like I mean, I would even almost call it an anime cliche where the main character, I mean, Goku's stupid. Like the main character is always a goofball. You know what I mean? Like passionate, but kind of goofy. Yeah. There's something about Aaron that does that for me, and it's exciting.
I think my concern with Aaron is that you kind of stop seeing the growth because he kind of fall into this vicious cycle of just blaming himself and sulking, and I understand where he's coming from. I mean that the world is shit, but kind of makes hard for you to get inspired by him because he kind of give up quickly to adversity. Like
you're rooting for him. You're like, that's what makes you root for him, because he's getting beat down by the world and you want him to
but you have all these other characters lifting him up so hard, and it's like, dude, this is shit for everybody. But you have to have Levi telling you, dude, just stand up, or you have to have Mikasa telling you, hey, I'm not gonna let you die here. And it's hard for me because it's like, dude, I mean, really, seriously, you need to learn to control this power because you got to help these people. And he finally ends up doing it. But it's just the fact that they have to go dig so deep to pick him up and get him out of his desperation. That's what sometimes gets me from this main character.
It's just the fact that he does have that power, you know? Like it's as if, you know, Goku
he blames himself for having that power.
Only go Super Saiyan. Like, you know what I mean? Like I agree with you. It's I mean, Aaron's a bummer and he's kind of a wimp a lot, but the fact that he is the key to the success of their little nation, I don't know. It's exciting.
It's a little pressure on him, and I get where he's coming from. Like because of that pressure, that's why he feels that way. Because if anything goes bad or the wrong way, he thinks it's mainly his fault. Even though there's so many uncontrollable things around him, like, hey, this is the plan. We don't say that this plan is gonna be like 100% the plan. And we might have to improvise at some point, but I mean, if something wrong happens, it's like all that pressure falls into him. He gets depressed, and then you have all these other characters trying to dig him out of that hole, and that's what becomes a little bit frustrating. Although, again, and I understand where you're coming from, Chris. It's part of the drama where they want to take you like, hey, this is so bleak, and I know I have to do more, and for some reason I just can't. And that's why I'm gonna feel depressed. I will feel the same way if I was in his shoes. But then again, if you make the comparison with Goku or another anime
Goku's a bad example. Goku is not a good example, really. But I think some of the best anime protagonists are underdogs.
Yes,
You
but
know,
for the
Yeah.
most part, they're positive. Like even in the bleakest day of adversity, they shine a really light of hope, and that's what sometimes makes anime characters so successful, especially the main characters. Sometimes I lose that with Eren. Sometimes it gets so bleak that I just don't see that light of hope, and that's where I get like desperate.
No, I agree, but I think that's by design. I think that we're meant to see Aaron that week.
Probably.